Welcome back, everyone. Appreciate y'all being here today. I got a good one. It's the top 10 places on the French Riviera. It's Ryan Shirley. We know it's going to be good, and I'm excited. I mean, I get 9 minutes and 2 seconds of looking at just beautiful areas, so I'm pumped about it. Hopefully you guys are as well. Before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. That way you're alerted for every time that we upload a video. But other than that, let's get into it. Let's look at the top 10 places on the French Riviera.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan, and I recently returned from exploring the French Riviera, and I want to share with you my favorite places. So here is my French Riviera top 10. The French Riviera, also known as the Côte d'Azur, is one of the most highly sought-after destinations in Europe. Located in southern France on the Mediterranean Sea, the French Riviera is home to some of Europe's best scenery. From the medieval hilltop town of Aix to the scenic calanques of Cassis, the French Riviera is waiting to be experienced. Let's start this video off at the city of Menon. Now located...
Okay, so this is, obviously Italy's right there, but this is the area of when we did the top 10 places in France that reminded me a lot of Italy. And I can see why. It's all right there.
Right next to the Italian border, Menon was the first town we visited on the French Riviera as we drove in through Italy. It's strikingly beautiful with its colorful buildings complemented with a backdrop of the Maritime Alps. We stayed several days here and I really enjoyed just walking around the city. Menon was a part of Italy until 1860 when it and the rest of Nice County was added to France. There's a great boardwalk that walks along the coast, and I really enjoyed going out to the lighthouse pier to get panoramic views of Menon. Now afterwards, we're going to visit the medieval town of Aix. Now located on a hilltop tower looking over the French Riviera, I have to say this was easily the coolest medieval place I visited in my time in southern France. It was only a short 30-minute drive from Menon. Now Aix was founded during the Middle Ages around the 14th century,
and
today it is known worldwide for its medieval vibe and views of the French Riviera. When we were there, we parked in a parking lot at the base of Aix and then walked up the winding stairs and cobblestone paths through the village. I mean, you really feel like you're walking back in time. Everything is so old, yet it's perfectly preserved, and the village is just full of like these tunnel walkways and trees that were just built around. Truly is such a cool place. Now, one of the main...
I just find it so fascinating that people just still live there and live like that. I mean, I love that medieval charm. I love it so much.
Main features of the village is the exotic garden. It's this beautiful place that sits on top of the village. It not only has beautiful plants and cactuses, but it offers one of the best views of the French Riviera. It's definitely worth the hike and €6 entry fee. Now after Aix, we're going to go visit the country of Monaco. Now located right in between Aix and Menon, Monaco is the second smallest country after the Vatican. The whole country is only 499 acres. Monaco has been known as a billionaire's playground, and over 1/3 of Monaco citizens are millionaires. Now, one reason why Monaco draws the rich is because it's a tax haven. There are no income taxes and other tax rates are extremely low. Now, one of the most famous places in Monaco is the Monte Carlo Casino. It was opened in 1863 and has been featured in the James Bond films. Now we just drove through Monaco because we just had to check it out. We didn't do much, but it was just cool to see and just wild to think of all the money that's in this tiny country. Now a really interesting place located above Monaco is the commune of La Turbie. It's famous for its Roman monument called the Trophy of Augustus that was built in the 6th century BC to celebrate Augustus' victory over 45 tribes that populated the Alps. The Romans sure were ambitious back then. Now afterwards, we're going to head over to Nice. Now as the capital of the Maritime Alps department of France, Nice is the second largest city on the French Riviera after Marseille. Now if you're flying to the French Riviera, this is probably the best airport to come to. I didn't really spend any much time here. I didn't really feel like walking around the city. I do regret not checking it out, so if you're in the French Riviera, you definitely can give Nice a visit. Now another prominent nearby resort town is Cannes. Now it's located about 40 minutes drive from Nice. Like many places along the French Riviera, Cannes is associated with the rich and famous and hosts...
That cracks me up. I didn't really spend too much time there because I didn't feel like walking through the city. That would be me. I'd be like, man, this is an amazing little city. Let's get some food and let's go hike that mountain.
It's the annual Cannes Film Festival. Now, just outside of Cannes is some of the most beautiful coastline on the French Riviera.
Where that's at.
It's called the Esterel, and it's these red rock cliffs that dive into the sea. Now, I was talking to a local on the beach, and he told me that this was his favorite place on the Riviera, so I had to go check it out. I mean, I've never seen red colored cliffs
yeah.
in the Mediterranean. It reminded me a lot of the landscapes you find in the American Southwest, except it has the Mediterranean Sea, so it's so much better. The coastline is part of the Estoril Massif, and it stretches from Cannes to San Rafael. Now, it's full of hidden coves, red rock islands, and secluded beaches. I love just driving along the coastline and parking in its many lookout points and just exploring the coast. I highly recommend visiting here. Now, one really cool place I visited in the area is Cap du Jamon. Now, the reason I wanted to go here is because there's this little island with a medieval looking watchtower on it. It was constructed in the 20th century and is believed to be the inspiration behind the Black Island in the Adventures of Tintin. Now, it just looks so scenic coupled with the red coastline. I mean, there's a really nice beach there and the water is perfect for freediving. Such an enjoyable place. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit the town of Saint-Tropez. Now, this is one of my favorite towns I visited on the French Riviera. Saint-Tropez is located about an hour and a half drive from Nice. Now, Saint-Tropez grew as a fishing village and military stronghold until the 20th century, and it was the first town to be liberated on the French Riviera during World War II. In the 1960s, Saint-Tropez started gaining popularity amongst jet setters, and today it's renowned for its beaches, nightlife, and yachts. Now, the main part of Saint-Tropez is pretty small, but I love just walking around its streets and alleyways. There was this path that walks along the coast, and it was just really nice to explore. Now, overlooking Saint-Tropez is a city.
And I'm not sure how big Nice is, so let me know below, if you live there, been there, how big it is exactly. But that little, I don't want to call it a village. I know it's a city, but I'm going to call it it's like one of my cities here. That little, town. Just walking along, it's not massive, but it's big, but it's not massive. You can walk through it, kind of see it for a day, and then, go on your way. That's my kind of town. That's my kind of city.
Which was built in the 1620s to protect against Spanish forces. Today, it's a naval museum you can visit. All in all, Saint-Tropez is a really beautiful town.
I'm sure it's bigger in person, but it doesn't look huge.
Now, afterwards, we're going to head over to the island of Porquerolles. It's part of the Yare Islands archipelago, and the village on the island was founded back in 1820. Today, most of the island remains undeveloped as it's protected, and it's a perfect nature getaway with some of France's best beaches. Now, you can reach the island by taking a 15-minute shuttle boat from the Guyenne Peninsula, or you can also reach it from Toulon. Now, while you're there, you can bike or hike around the island to its Caribbean-like beaches, such as Cortez Beach, or you can trek around to its more rugged parts of the island. It's definitely an island worth visiting. Now, afterwards, we're going to visit Cassis. Now, I think this was my favorite place we visited in southern France. We stayed several days here. I'm just so glad we did. It's a seaside town with that classic French chic charm. Now, Cassis is overlooked by Cap Canaille, which is home to the highest sea cliffs in all of France with a height of 394 meters. Now, there's a great beach in Cassis, overlooked by a castle. I mean, I just love walking around the harbor, looking at all the boats. You can also walk to the lighthouse at the end of the harbor to just relax and enjoy the sounds of the sea. Now, one of the main reasons I wanted to go to Cassis and just southern France in general was to visit the Calanques. Now, they are these incredible sea coves surrounded by daunting cliffs and crystal clear waters. The one I really wanted to go to is Calanque d'Anvou. Hope I said that right. Now, there's several ways to get here. You can either take a boat, kayak, or hike in. Now, on our first day there, we rented a little boat from the harbor in Cassis and headed out to the Calanques. Now, the views on the way were just absolutely incredible. Now, one downside about the boat is we couldn't land on the beach. You can only drive like halfway through and then it's roped off. But if you do rent a kayak or a paddleboard, you can take it to the beach, which I definitely recommend if you can handle the long paddle. Now, we went in as far as we could in the Calanque and then turned around after we just kept exploring the coastline, heading west as we relaxed in this
little mesmerized by how beautiful
that really unique cliffs and rock formations.
Unique and just
beautiful. It was such a phenomenal area. Now, the next day, I really wanted to go to the beach in the Calanque d'Anvou, so we decided to do a hike. Now, the hike was about 7 kilometers long, and it had this one steep descent to get down the beach. Nothing you can't handle. Now, once we reached the beach, I mean, it was really an amazing sight. The steep white cliffs coupled with the greens of the pines and blues of the water were just amazing. Now, the beach was a decent size with a lot of smooth pebbles. We went for a swim, and the water was just so freaking clear. I wanted to find a cliff jump spot, so after swimming down the cove, I found this rock about 7 meters high and did a few jumps off of it. I mean, there's truly no better feeling than cliff jumping into the Mediterranean. Definitely was one of my favorite places we went, and a perfect place to end our time on the Côte d'Azur. Well, that is it for my French Riviera top 10. Let me know where your favorite place is in the comments below. I also
Man, I
started a
don't
Spanish
know.
channel. If you prefer to watch my videos in Espanol, I did a video on France you might enjoy. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at shirley.films. It's Ryan, and we will see you later.
I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. France keeps getting better and better, and of course Ryan never fails to deliver with his videos. The dude's fantastic. I just realized I didn't shave off this beard. I can't grow a beard, but that was a very interesting video. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. I don't know what one of my favorite was. Honestly, probably the last one that he just showed us, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because I just can't. But just the unique rock formations and how they were like white. You know, they weren't just your typical brown cliff sides. They were just like that. You know, that white, and then the water was so clear. It looked like you're in the Caribbean. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful place. And France is beautiful. I'm really falling in love with the beauty of France, and it seems like a wonderful country to want to go see and explore. So let me know down below what your guys' favorite place was. And that tower right there, that amazes me that it was built in he said the 20th century, so just in the 1900s. That kind of amazes me too. It looked a lot older than that. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here, and like I said, like the video if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and share it with all your friends. It helps me out tremendously, guys. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.